for a war against Iraq. Is that
exactly? Because they never know what Saddam Hussein will do, and Saddam Hussein was busy building his, offensive weapons and chemical weapons that he used against Iran anyway in that 1988
he had
war.
already done that.
Exactly. So the Iranians would have been busy trying to use the money for these conventional weapons than building nuclear weapons. So as far as Saddam Hussein was there, Iran would have been contained. We will use Saddam Hussein to keep them in check. But when we went foolishly and overthrew Saddam Hussein, then Iran was free to pursue its nuclear ambition without worrying about its neighbors. Pakistan wasn't going to do anything. Pakistan is friendly with, Pakistan already has its own bomb, the Islamic bomb. Afghanistan is in chaos. They don't have nothing to do. They won't even do nothing to Iran. The other, neighbors, Soviet Azerbaijan, former Soviet, the same. There are shares over there. So you see, Iran is let loose. Now, who is more worried about Iran's nuclear ambition? Now, one would be surprised is the Arab countries. The Arab countries.
It's not the Israelis.
Okay. Though Israelis are worried because of what Ahmadinejad has been saying, and in all likelihood they might attack Iran, but the Arab countries are more worried
about Iran having nuclear weapons.
Because from time immemorial the Arabs have been fighting with the Persians. You had during the war between Iran and Iraq, Saddam called that war the Qadisiyah. That was about a war fought between the Persians and Arabs before, almost centuries before. So countries like Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, all of them are worried about Iran having the nuclear weapon because the Iranians might use it as an intimidating thing against the Arab countries.
Wouldn't this be a good Arab core to use, for the West to use, in terms of trying to work with these individuals, individual countries, to keep Iran from moving farther toward a nuclear weapon? Would that be a good method of trying to check Iran now?
Well, yes, but then those Arab countries don't have the wherewithal militarily on their own, so that's the problem. But the fear is this: if Iran obtains this nuclear weapon, as it's trying to do now, in all likelihood, Egypt will move. Okay, Egypt has the means and all that. Egypt will move to acquire them, and probably Pakistan might, smuggle some to Egypt or from North Korea. Saudi Arabia, with all the money it has, can have some. Saudi Arabia financed Pakistan's nuclear weapons, so they might acquire one themselves. So what you have is a proliferation of nuclear weapons in the whole of the nuclear in the Middle East, which will be a threat to Israel.
Israel as well as to one another.
As well as to one another. Okay, and that's what most of the European countries and the United States do not want to see happen. See, now Israel might on its own act against Iran. Now we don't have good intelligence on the ground in Iran, but the Israelis do, because during the Shah's regime, Israel had an embassy in Tehran, and the Shah was on good terms with the Israelis. The Israeli secret police, the Mossad, and the Iranian secret police, the Savak, had good relationship. They cooperated with each other, exchanged information to keep an eye on the Arab countries, okay? Because Israel was in conflict with the Arab countries. And the Iranians at the same time are not in good terms with most of the Arab countries either. So the Savak and Mossad were cooperating. So when the Shah was overthrown, some of those Mossad agents were still in Iran.
We've got 2 minutes.
So they know what's happening.
We've got 2 minutes, Dr. Badu. What should be our policy now? I mean, what can we do? I mean, as a policy of the Western countries?
Well, A will be sanctions. But, as experience has shown, sanctions don't do much but punish the regular, ordinary person on the street. The big shots will eat well, and they can smuggle what they want continuously. We want we're asking the Russians and the Chinese to assist because, in putting strong sanctions and stopping the supply of some nuclear materials to Iran. But then you have the economic factor. China wants all that oil and gas from Iran to develop its economy. The Russians are selling whatever they can to boost the economy to Iran at the same time. So in order to get this accomplished, those two countries have to cooperate with us.
China and
Russia.
Russia.
Otherwise, you know, there's no way we can stop it unless the Israelis go in there and bomb those facilities like they did in Iraq, which might be difficult, but they have the capacity and capability of doing that.
And so in a real sense, we're sort of in a real hole in reference to Iran in terms of it developing its own nuclear weapon. We have very little leeway in terms of controlling that.
That's correct. And that's, like I said, that's why we should not have overthrown Saddam Hussein to begin with. We would have had at least you know, somebody around there to use and keep an eye on them.
And of course, Dr. Badu, it's time out for us. And let me thank you for coming by, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.